Hare Hare. Chapter 1, text 26. Chant together. Tatra pasyat stitan parta between atapita maham acharyan matulan brati putran pautran sakims tata shvashuran sudidas jaiva tenayor upayorapi. Translation. There Arjuna could see
his grandfathers, teachers, and maternal uncles, brothers and sons, grandsons, friends, and also his father-in-law and well-wishers all present there.
Text 27. Tan samiksha sakaunteya sarvan bandhun avastitan kripaya pariyavishto shidan nidam abravit. When the son of Kunti,
Arjuna saw all these different grades of friends and relatives. He became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus.
Arjuna vacha tisthemam sajanam Krishna yutsum samapastitam sidanti nama gatrani mukam cha parishushati. Arjuna said,
My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up.
Vepatuscha sharire me romaharshascha jayate gandhivam shangsate hastat takchaiva paridahvate. My whole body is trembling,
and my hair is standing on end. My bow Gandhiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning.
natashaknom yavashtatum brahmativa chame manaha namitani cha pashyami paritani keshava. I am now unable to stand here
any longer. I am forgetting myself, and my mind is reeling. I foresee only evil, O killer of the Keshi demon.
Atishayo nipashyami hatpasvajanamahave takangshi. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen
in this battle, nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness.
Kim no rajena govinda kim bhoga jivitena tva yesham arte kangshitam no rajam bhoga sukhanicha ta ime vastita yudhe pranam shyatva dhananicha acharya pitara putras tataiva cham pitamaha matulan svasuran pautra shala sambandhinastata etan nahantum ichchami kanatopi madhusudana. Mahikate yacha dartarashtrana kapiti syajjanardana. O Govinda,
Of what avail to us are kingdoms, happiness, or even life itself, when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed in this battlefield? O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and all relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, then why should I wish to kill them, though I may survive? O maintainer of all creatures, I am not prepared to fight with them, even in exchange for the three worlds. let alone this earth. So there's one more here. Text 36. Papam eva shayed asman hatvaitan atatayinah tasmanarha vayam hantum dartarashtran sabandhavan swajanam hi katam hatva sukina syama madhava. Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune? And how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen? Hare Krishna. All right, so we'll get into it. I was gonna say on this point about that well, let's hear from Prabhupada. So let's go to chapter 1, and we're on text 20. It was 26 that we looked at. There, Arjuna could see within the midst of the armies of both parties his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his father in law and well wishers, all present there. Purport. On the battlefield, Arjuna could see all kinds of relatives. He could see persons like Buddhi Shrava, who were his father's contemporaries, grandfathers Bhishma and Somadatta, teachers like Dronacharya and Kripacharya, maternal uncles like Shalya and Shakuni, brothers like Duryodhana, sons like Lakshmana, friends like Ashwatthama, well-wishers like Kritavarma, etc. He could see also the armies which contained many of his friends. So I was just remembering that uh, it's nice when the speaker can give some information about these personalities. So I'm not I don't know too much here, but we'll try to go into it a little bit. No, that's okay. I think it's just a defective tool. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So let's look at this. So Arjuna's looking at the battlefield. So this is a really cool verse which like came before this. Um, a few verses, text 21 and 22. Arjuna uvacha senayor ubayor madheratam stapaya mechuta. So senayor ubayor madhye. So he says Sena, that means army. Senayo, of the armies. Ubayo, of both the parties. Madhye, in between. Ratham stapaya, the chariot. Please keep. Mechuta, my. So he's saying, O infallible one, Achuta. So Arjuna is asking that Krishna bring him in between the two armies. And so then this is the description that Sanjaya is giving about uh, what was it like when he actually got there. So after that text 22, then comes 23, and Arjuna is still speaking. He says, let me see who's come. That's kind of an interesting thing because, he knew the whole history of it. But, I think Prabhupada uh, yeah, Prabhupada touches how, Duryodhana was the main problem case, and he had a lot of birds of the same feather with him on that side of the battlefield. And so, but Arjuna was kind of like, he didn't want to really believe it. Or this is the nature of one who's bewildered, that they're kind of like, kind of maintain some disbelief, or kind of like, well, maybe it's not actually that bad, you know. So there was a lot of these people that Arjuna really looked up to and cared about. So Sanjaya starts to describe that, and then he describes how Arjuna is seeing them. And then Arjuna speaks right after that. So we can do some research. Maybe there's somebody with a computer there. If you're free, Prabhu. Uh, um, we can do a little. If not, that's okay. Maybe somebody else can do it. I was going to look up this Buri Shrava. We can see some information about Prabhupada. Many in a lot of purports in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada he basically gives a big list of different names which are spoken about, and he gives a lot of information there. So, of course, this is also available in the Mahabharata, but Prabhupada gave a lot of those topics in the first canto of Bhagavatam also, because it kind of yeah, let's hear. Who's that?
Napta, or this is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15, Text 16. Napta, or Borishrava. Borishrava was the son of Somadatta. I don't know if this has the accents over the... Okay, it does. Borishrava was the son of Somadatta, a member of the Kuru family. His other brother was Shalya. Both the brothers and... Sorry, Salya. Both the brothers and the father attended the Swayamvara ceremony of Draupadi. All of them appreciated the wonderful strength of Arjuna due to his being the devotee friend of the Lord. And thus Bharishrava advised the sons of Dhritarashtra not to pick any quarrel or fight with them. All of them also attended the Rajasuya Yagya of Maharaj Yudhishthir. He possessed one Akshohini regiment of army, cavalry, elephants, and chariots, and all these were employed in the battle of Kurukshetra on behalf of Duryodhana's party. He was counted by Bhima as one of the Yuttapatis. In the battle of Kurukshetra, he was especially engaged to fight with Satyaki, and he killed 10 sons of Satyaki. Later on, Arjuna cut off his hands, and he was ultimately killed by Satyaki. After his death, he merged into the existence of Vishvadeva.
Hmm. Doesn't it make you want to hear more?
After his death, he merged into the existence of Vishvadeva.
Can you look that up? Yes. Actually, on this point, while you're searching, I've been reading in the Shikshamrita. Prabhupada, well, there's a whole subsection that the devotees somehow compiled together called adult education. And it's called adult education, and there's subheadings, different subheadings, and one or subsections, and one is called studying the philosophy. And there's a lot of really great letters where Prabhupada talks about studying the philosophy. And he mentions again and again, especially in 1972, then he talks to the devotees about how he's stressing it. He mentions in so many letters, back to back to back to back, in the months of 1972, and then he always tells the devotees, I am stressing so much on this point that our devotees should study this philosophy. And what he meant and how he made that practical was, he said, morning and evening classes, which we do at RVC as a general policy. And he said that not everyone will be super studious, but you know, the main thing is that we spend basically like 2 hours a day. And he said, see, in the morning here, I am in Los Angeles, and I'm giving Srimad Bhagavatam every day for 1 hour. And we are doing the chanting together, and then we are discussing our realizations. So he talked about it like that. And when I heard Prabhupada glorifying the Bhagavatam and the Gita class, it really gives a lot of faith, and it helps me to realize that, you know, he was writing these letters as if he was somehow participating in the learning experience with his disciples. And I thought that was so nice that, wow, you know, I can, Prabhupada being so vastly, you know, learned and completely pure devotee of the Lord, is learning, or at least saying, appreciating the learning experience that he has during Bhagavatam, even while he gives the Bhagavatam. Of course, you know, he was doing most of the instructing, but he thought that was important. So this is a nice opportunity. We're kind of going deeper into this. And what do we have, Prabhu? Rishi is quite the nectar collector.
Well, we heard that he merged into the existence of Vishvadeva. The only more details I could find on Vedabase about his death are in the Mahabharata. And here we see what type of liberation he's getting.
Mm.
And we find out that he gets the Sarupa Siddhi, a form equal to that of Lord Vishnu with 4 arms. If you like, I can read. It's up to you. It's not in Prabhupada's writing. It's in the Mahabharata told by Krishna Dharma Prabhu.
I don't know, Prabhu.
It's up to you. I know you. I think you're saying you just wanted to hear straight from Prabhupada's books.
Well, yeah, if he used that word again, that I never heard him use that word, so that was interesting to me.
Merged into Vishvadeva.
Vishvadeva. I have actually.
I can do some further research.
Yeah, Krishna is talking about the word merge.
Hmm. If you like, I can just say what Krishna said to him as he died in the Mahabharata.
Oh,
For more details.
okay.
So, in the Mahabharata, told by Krishna Dharma Prabhu, I mean, it's pretty exciting as death here. I just read it, but I'll just say what Krishna said without all the excitement. Krishna added, "You have been devoted to sacrifice and worship of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, go to my kingdom, ablaze with effulgence and coveted even by Brahma. Assuming a spiritual form equal to my own, mount upon the back of Garuda, who will carry you to that eternal abode."
Hmm. Right. So
And
go ahead. Go ahead.
for a little bit of excitement. As Krishna spoke, Satyaki recovered from his swoon and rose to his feet. Seeing his enemy seated nearby, he took up his discarded sword and rushed at him. As everyone present cried out to stop him, he swung the sword with all his strength and cut off Burishrava's head.
Hmm. So then there was Bhishma, which there's a lot about grandfather Bhishma, I should say. And Bhishma is known by many as a famous brahmachari. And there's a lot of things we can learn from him and uh, his teachings to the Pandavas, or specifically to Yudhishthir Maharaj, and his lying on the bed of arrows, and his dedication to his father, which ended up leading him to take the vow of celibacy. So there's a lot of nice kind of themes of surrender and submission and obedience that we can learn from him. And of course, he's such a beast warrior, so strong and powerful. And he was feared for that. So let's hear a little bit. Well, he was in the category of the grandfather, because uh, as far as I understand, the Pandavas knew him as the grandfather Bhishma, right? And the Kurus, which were the Pandavas, are the sons of Pandu, and the Kurus were those who were known as the Kurus, or were the sons of Dhritarashtra. Then there was also uh, Vidura, right? Which is the third brother. And these three um, were the brothers. Now, Bhishma was the son of a king, and I'm forgetting his name now. I'm revealing my ignorance. Uh, we can get filled in all the juicy details in a few minutes when our nectar collector uh, gets his data. But Bhishma Dev's father was a king, and that king, he wanted to marry a fisherman's daughter. You got it? Okay.
This is going to be a real nectar on Bhishma Dev.
Okay, let's go.
December 29th, 1967, San Francisco. Srila Prabhupada speaking. My dear Jadharani, please accept my blessings. I thank you very much for your letter of December 23rd, 1967, and I'm glad to hear you are doing so nicely in Krishna consciousness. Regarding your questions, this incident is in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhishma Dev, when he was lying on his arrow bed before passing away, Lord Krishna accompanied with the Pandavas, came to see him. Ordinarily, Bhishma Dev was worshipper of Lord Vishnu, but he knew also that Krishna is the same Lord Vishnu. When Krishna came to see Bhishma Dev on his deathbed, Bhishma Dev remembered Krishna in his fighting feature at the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Bhishma Dev wanted to see Krishna angry. He knew that Krishna was very kind upon him, but to make a front, he displayed a chivalrous mood, pretending to kill Arjuna. Although he knew it very well that no power in the world could kill Arjuna, while he was shielded by Krishna himself as his charioteer. Yet he tried to agitate the mind of Krishna. But Arjuna he almost killed. Actually, Krishna thought it that Bhishma Dev was to see him in his angry mood and supposed to be broken in. Actually, Krishna thought it that Bhishma Dev was to see him in his angry mood and supposed to be broken in his promise to fulfill the desire of Bhishma Dev. He got down from the chariot and took a wheel of the chariot, going forward as if to kill Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev, as soon as found Krishna in that angry mood, he gave up his fighting weapons and prepared himself for being killed by Krishna. This attitude of Krishna pleased Bhishma Dev very much, and at the time of his death, he recalled back the angry feature of Krishna. He was a military man, so he was pleased to see Krishna in military spirit, as much as the gopis wanted to see Krishna as the most beautiful lover. There is no difference between the attitude of the gopis and Bhishma Dev in the matter of exchanging transcendental mellows between God and his devotee. Krishna can be loved in any feature, and because he is absolute, there is no difference to love Krishna as a military man or as a simple gopi. There's a little bit more.
Yeah, sure.
During the day, the two sides would battle, and at night they would visit one another's camps, just like friends, talking and eating together. Bhishma was accused of not trying hard enough to kill the Pandavas due to affection for them. So he said, "Tomorrow I will kill all 5 brothers, and these 5 special arrows I shall kill them with." For safekeeping, Bhishma Dev gave the 5 arrows to Duryodhana, who had accused Bhishma of too much affection for the Pandavas. Formerly, Duryodhana had made promise to Arjuna that he could someday ask for some favor. So Krishna, knowing all these things, sent Arjuna to Duryodhana for asking favor of giving the arrows to Arjuna. So as the promise was made, Duryodhana gave Arjuna the arrows that night. Next day, Bhishma knew it was Krishna who arranged all this, and so he told Duryodhana, "Today it will be either Arjuna or I, but one of us will die." And so he fought very hard to kill Arjuna, but with Krishna as protector, no one in world could kill Arjuna. Krishna's body was pierced here and there, all over, as you like. As military man, Bhishma had no right to shoot the chariot driver, but he knew Krishna's body is not material and will not be harmed. So he took pleasure in piercing the body of the Lord. Bhishma Dev became so pierced with arrows that he laid down, and with the arrows all standing on end, all struck through his body. Yes, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva came and were there in the sky with many demigods and throwing flowers. You can consult Srimad Bhagavatam, second part. The picture and contents of... Okay, that's all.
Thank you. So that was interesting. That was bringing up some of the spiritual equality, or the equality on the spiritual platform of exchanging love with Krishna in the perfectional state. We're hoping to become humble servants of those who have achieved that state ourselves. And so other points were not really, that was the end of the ending Leelas, but maybe you can find some about how he became why he is called a grandfather. We know that there's 3 brothers, right? Which were Vidura? Oh, you know? Okay. See? This is why we study together.
I read a little bit of Krishna Dharma Prabhu's Mahabharata. And it opens with so it's kind of an explanation, like from the descendants of Bharat Maharaj. King Shantanu is there. I don't know if he's King Shantanu. And King Shantanu is this king. He's a descendant of Bharat Maharaj, and he somehow gets Bhishma Dev from Ganga Ma. So in Mahabharata, Bhishma Dev is called Gangeya. He's the son of Ganga and Shantanu. And then Shantanu has another wife called Satyavati. And from Satyavati, there's a son named Vichitravirya. And so Vichitravirya dies at a young age, but he's supposed to be the heir. And so Satyavati orders Bhishma Dev to kidnap the princesses, Amba, Ambalika, and another one. But because Bhishma Dev is a brahmachari, or he's taking a brahmacharya, then he can't actually beget. As the custom, if a man dies, then his brother can actually beget sons and the wives, of his deceased brother. And so Satyavati asked Bhishma Dev, "You do this now that Vichitravirya has died." He doesn't want to. So Vyasadeva is also related to Bhishma Dev somehow. I forget the connection, but like somehow. And so they get Vyasadeva, and then Vyasadeva begets in his three wives, Pandu, Dhritarashtra, and Vidura. And then from Pandu, come the Pandavas. Well, Pandu marries Queen Kunti, and then from Queen Kunti come the Pandavas through the demigods, and then Dhritarashtra, the Kauravas.
Kauravas.
Yeah.
The word.
This was Vyasadeva in the three princesses, Amba, Ambalika. Yeah. Oh wait. Sorry. You said Dhritarashtra, Vidura, and
Pandu.
Pandu. Yeah, this was Vyasadeva, yeah.
I think yeah. There was those three sisters who were gonna be, one of them at least was gonna be married to Shalia, right? Anyway. Yeah, because and then who is it?
I don't know fully, but they weren't sisters because Vyasadeva was called Bhishma is there with his mother, and they're saying, "How are we going to carry on the dynasty now that the husband of
Vichitravirya. So wait, say it again, Prabhu.
Bhishma is with his mother in the beginning of Mahabharata, and she's saying, "How will we carry on the dynasty now that such and such has died?"
Yeah, her son Vichitravirya died.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so they say, we'll send Vyasadeva to get his wife pregnant, which was allowed for that time period in the Vedas. So Vyasadeva comes, and then Jivadoya spoke on it last night that she did not want, she saw Vyasadeva, and he could have made himself beautiful through his mystic power, but he said that'll take a year. And they said, no, we need a son right now. So he came as he is, and she was afraid. She was disturbed to see a sage, matted locks, dirty body, so-called externally looks like that. So she closed her eyes and was in like fear, and so Dhritarashtra was born blind. Vyasadeva said that would happen. You'll have a son, but this will be like that. So then they said, okay, well, this won't work for the king. So let's do it again, but do it right this time. So Vyasadeva, they have him come back, and he goes to beget another child, But this time she's still disturbed about it, so she calls in the maidservant instead. And now Vyasadeva has the maidservant has the child.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of that, that's Vidura. He's the born of a Shudra, as they always say. And then the last one,
It's Pandu, and well,
and it is her this time.
it's really her. And the maidservant
Really her.
was really very like
Well received.
yeah, Vyasati was well received by the maidservant, the Shudra maidservant, and so Vidura comes out to be very
Good
pious
qualities.
and noble, and
He said you'll have a son with good qualities.
yeah, good qualities.
But then the last time, now it's finally the queen who's going to beget the child, but she's still like disturbed, so she turns like pale out of fright. And so he said, okay, you'll have a child, but he'll be pale. They're thinking, pale? What does that mean? Like, this still sounds like something's off, but it was okay. He's Pandu. He could rule, but he was pale.
Okay. Very nice, gentlemen. Thank you very much. So there's more to learn with that. Yeah, there's a lot to learn with this. And we'll get it. We'll get it one day by Krishna's grace. It's not, yeah, this first chapter comes around and really there's a lot here, with all these personalities. We have Dronacharya and Kripacharya that they have there's whole information about their relationship. And then, Shakuni, who was the uncle, and there was a whole grudge that he kept, and he was like a secret, malicious agent, in the whole intrigue between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. He was always kind of trying to shake things up. So he was acting as the friends with Duryodhana, but he also wanted some revenge there too. So then there's Ashwatthama, which we hear about in the Bhagavatam, right? The so-called son, or the son of a Brahmana, so-called Brahmana. So these are all wonderful things. Now, yeah, does anybody want to bring something up now? Rishi?
If we're talking about background of these people, I can talk a little bit about Ashwatthama if you like.
Did you have something, Shanu? I know we didn't really answer why he's called a grandfather. I know I don't understand it. He doesn't have a good question, so. Like, aggressive, or, like, I'm just questioning how this all works. Well, maybe we go into that. That's a practical thing. We can, and it's connected. Maybe we can find out some evidence. We hear it that the consciousness at the time of conception passes, or it attracts a certain type of soul to the womb. We hear that. Maybe you can see if we have some references from Prabhupada about that point. Let's see. So the example is that if there is a child which is born out of some, kind of abusive affair or kind of one-sided situation, then Varna Shankara, right? That's spoken about. Actually, Arjuna gives that argument that, yeah. Did you have something? Okay. Let's see if we can find it here real quick. Yeah, so text 40, chapter 1, text 40, Arjuna is speaking, and he is telling Krishna, when irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the women of the family become corrupt, and from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vrishni, comes unwanted progeny. In this in this verse, the last sentence is irresponsible men also provoke adultery in society, and thus unwanted children flood the human race at the risk of war and pestilence. So this is indicating that this scenario which you brought up, um, it's a type of an unwanted child, and then that leads to the risk of war and pestilence. So it's definitely an issue. As far as the exact tendencies of the child, it's not exactly mentioned here. Um,
But then there's like
Hare Krishna.
Prahlad Maharaj being born to
Hare
Hiranyakashipu.
Krishna.
yeah. Okay, Rishu Kumar Prabhu.
Can I say some comments on it, or just read some
Hare
background on
Krishna.
the
No.
consciousness, Garbhodon Samskara thing?
Just a few. However you think is most beneficial for us. A few minutes.
So there's, the point Magadari said, the consciousness at the time of conception is extremely influential of the consciousness of the living entity that's coming into that womb. Therefore, the Garbhodon Samskara is necessary, as I just pulled up many quotes here, because then one is in purified state of consciousness and they invite a pure soul. So the consciousness has a big thing to do with it, but also in this case with Vyasadeva, it was also about, there's a comment.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just getting it set up.
This one needs muted.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, you know.
We're not ready just yet. We're getting it set.
And then that one has to go in.
Okay, now we should be able to hear.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
You're okay?
We can hear you, Maharaj.
Okay. So, Vyasadeva's impregnation was auspicious, not material. He was asked to do that as a service to the Lord. He's the incarnation. So, there's nothing wrong with that. And he decided, being influenced by understanding it from the Lord's point of view, that because that queen, that princess, she closed her eyes, so it was his decision. Yeah. In all three cases, it was his decision. Thank you. I don't know if you can understand that.
We could understand. Here, we'll get the sound back on our side. In all three cases, it was Vyasadev's decision how the child came out to be.
And he's called grandfather. Called grandfather because he's the son of Shantanu. Like Vijayavarya was Vijayavarya was killed, so his wives produced the children. So that means he, Vijayavarya, would have been the grandfather.
I'm just okay, I'm just explaining how Bhishma is the grandfather, like Maharaj said, but I'm using my hands to make a family tree. I guess I can put the camera on here if it's helpful. Okay, so he said that Bhishma Dev is the son of Shantanu. So we've got Shantanu here at the top. And now we've got Bhishma Dev and Vichitravirya. They're on this next rung. And there's the queen, the wife of Vichitravirya. And Vichitravirya dies. And so now we're still on this top rung. So now we've got Bhishma's still up here. No, sorry, not the queen. Vichitravirya dies. So now Bhishma is still here. Vichitravirya's queen is still here. And they have to have, someone has to give her a child. So Vyasadeva comes to do that. But those three
And the
things
reason he did,
happened. And so
the
those
reason
three
he
different
did,
types of children were born. So so Pandu is her son. And then now we're on another rung down. Pandu, Vidura, Vyasadeva. Why does he come?
I can explain that.
They called Vyasadeva to come there because
I'll
that
tell
part
you
I
why.
don't-
I'll tell you why.
help on that one.
I can tell you why. The reason,
He's the what? Brother of Vichitravirya and Bhishma? He's the son of Shantanu? He's the son of Parashuramuni. Okay, Radhamadar said Vyasadeva is the son of Parshuramuni, and Parshuramuni begets Vyasadeva from Satyavati. Oh, okay, sorry. I was hoping Maharaj would say so. I didn't.
yes, that's correct. Satyavati is the mother of Vyasadeva. And by her coupling with Parashuram, that's why Vyasadeva is their elder brother. And Vyasadeva told his mother, if you ever need me, just think of me, and I'll come immediately. Understand?
So Vyasadeva is the brother of Bhishma and Vichitravirya.
Yeah. By Parashuram. He's a brother. Vyasadeva's brother. They have the same mother as Vichitravirya's wife. Vichitravirya has the same mother. But in the case of Ganga, or Gangaya, Bhishma, he had the same father, not the same mother. His mother was Ganga, and his mother was Satyavati.
Okay, we have an image of it in case that will help. We could hear, but now we just also got the image.
Here's Vyasa over here because he's the Parashara. That goes down to the next.
Okay. Well, we put a picture of it on the video, so should we unmute this now? Okay, just okay. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
I'm still like, I still need somebody to break